So just go knowing that they're clean, but they're stained, so maybe a bit gross, but they are clean. So that's just the one thing I would flag about the accommodation in Bali. Hi guys, my name is Sifiso. Welcome to my channel, Sifiso Abroad. So in this video, we're going to quickly compare Thailand to Bali. I thought I'd just do a video where we can sort of look at the pros and cons of both countries. So, and yes, I know Bali is not a country, but I've not been to enough of Indonesia. I've not been to any other part of Indonesia besides Bali. So I didn't feel fair to say Indonesia versus Thailand. So it's more specifically Bali versus Thailand. This will obviously be different depending on where you're coming from, but from the UK you don't need a visa for either countries for the first 30 days of your trip. So you can literally just grab your suitcase, your passport, you need a passport, grab your suitcase, grab your passport and go. They'll stamp you and you're in to go. If you want to stay longer than 30 days, lucky you, you have the option of extending your visa. I know that in Bali, you can extend your visa for the additional 30 days, so a total of 60 days in Bali for $35 US. Whereas in Thailand, you can also extend for an additional of 30 days, making a total of 60 days. But I don't know if you have to pay. I couldn't find that information on the website. So maybe you can just call somebody who will know, as in, you know, somebody in a position of authority to tell you, but I couldn't find that listed anywhere on the government website. In Bali, the main way we moved around was with a private driver. Now that sounds fancy and bougie, but I promise you it was probably the most affordable way to get around. Our villa was able to arrange, I'm pretty sure it was his friend, but he was able to arrange a private driver for us, which cost £25 between the two of us for the whole day. Like, my guy took us to Monkey Forest, Bali Swing. So that was the main way that we got around if it was somewhere that we couldn't walk, which I found that in other places such as Seminyak, we walked everywhere, to be honest. But in Ubud, and maybe it's because of the location of our villa, we did need a driver. But you just don't complain at £12.50, like, no. So besides taxi, we also went to Gili T. Now the Gili Islands are not actually in Bali. They're in a separate, is it an island? I know that they're in Lombok, which is another region of Indonesia, but that's just 2 hours away from Bali. So people often just throw it in with Bali, which is what we did. And to get there, we had a ferry. This ferry was, we got there alive and safe, actually. Let me not be so dramatic, right? But I think it was just the chaos around it, which I now understand to just be Southeast Asia, so that's fine. And also, it stank of fuel. Like, it really smelled of fuel. I remember being like, Jesus, just get me there, just get me there. But I think that's just me being spoiled. Like, I mean, I did it. It was 30 pounds each, I believe. We did it. We got there in 2.5 hours, alive and well. So don't be a baby, just go for it. Once you're in Gili T, they actually do not have any motorized transport, which is fab. And actually, it is a teeny island. You can get around it in hour and a half, depending how slow you walk. But the only way you can get around, the only form of transport is a horse carriage or a bicycle, or the 2 feet that God blessed you with, hopefully. So yeah, the horse carriage, which we used twice when we arrived and when we were leaving, because we had so much luggage. I had so much luggage, so we used the horse carriage to get around. That cost, I remember it cost 100 Indonesian rupiahs. I would translate how much that is in pounds, which is fine. 100 for both of us. That was affordable. I remember thinking that's affordable. And guys, remember, you should always negotiate and bring the price down, because they'll start off somewhere silly and eventually you'll settle somewhere where you're happy and they're happy, and probably still ripping you off anyway, right? So Thailand. With Thailand, we had a few flights, a few internal flights just to get us around, would just be easier. And we booked this as part of our international flights. So instead of just booking a return flight, we booked a multi-city flight, multi-trip, you know the one. So we booked that. So I can't comment on the price because that'll just depend on what system you follow. But once in Thailand, we got around using taxis. And there were 3 of us and then later 2 of us, but which meant that it was quite affordable because you're just splitting it between 3 of you. Obviously, it's more expensive compared to Bali because Bali was a private driver for £25 for 2 people. Whereas, you know, we probably paid that for a journey, a 30-minute journey in Thailand maybe. So yeah, it's affordable compared to London, but not compared to Bali. Also, tuk-tuks. Now, tuk-tuks are fun. I don't think you cannot go to Thailand and not ride a tuk-tuk. You just cannot do it, right? So we definitely rode on a tuk-tuk, but they are expensive. It's definitely cheaper to get a taxi than to ride a tuk-tuk. But they're like, you can't go to Thailand and not ride a tuk-tuk. So that's that. In Bali, we stayed in 2 villas and 1 hotel. I loved the accommodation in Bali. Seriously, I loved it. Both the villas and the hotel, I loved them all. And I thought they were super affordable. Like, I think they're so affordable. Our accommodation in Ubud blew my mind. It blew my mind. We paid, I wrote it down because I still can't believe it. 1 second. We paid £161 for 3 nights for the 2 of us. So divide 161, right? I'm an accountant and I can't do that. You do it. Divide 161 by 2 people by 3 nights. That's how much we paid for a villa with that huge pool. I'm definitely inserting a clip so you can see this. Huge pool. Breakfast was included. The people there were so lovely. Like the owners of the villa, Akioka Villa. I'll definitely write the name below. Amazing, amazing. Loved it. Had the whole outdoor shower. I just felt like I was in Bali, you know? Like, I just felt like I was in Bali, like, feel that I was in a different country, which I really love. That was our accommodation in Ubud. In Gili, yo, we stayed in a tree house. We stayed in a tree house. Check out my vlog. We stayed in a tree house. It was a tree house with a plunge pool. And you had a swing in the kitchen. I love Bali. I love Bali. Yeah, so that tree house cost $269 for 2 or 3 nights for the 2 of us. I love the accommodation. It was fab. It was really great. In Seminyak, our final stop in Bali, we stayed in a hotel, which I've lost the price, but I know that it was definitely the cheaper of the 2 that we stayed in. So maybe it was 130 for the 2 of us for 3 nights. And again, it was great. The pool, there was hardly ever anybody there in the pool. I think, in fact, we were always the only ones in the pool. So that was fun as well. And it was a nice room. It was just no complaints. I lie, there are complaints. The complaints are the stained towels and bedsheets, which was the case throughout. Whether it was the hotel or the villas, they had stained towels. Now, that's not to say they're not clean. They're clean. I 100% believe they're clean and they've been washed, but they are stained. And obviously, here in the UK, you know, you're gonna complain. You're gonna be on Twitter like, look at this stained towel and stuff like that. But that's not the culture over there. Like, they're not as wasteful as we are, where, you know, you're getting a fresh, well, like, they're not brand new. But the point is, they were stained, but they were clean. I didn't use them. Luckily, I brought my own towel. I could not bring myself to use that. So just go knowing that they're clean, but they're stained. So maybe a bit gross, but they are clean. So that's just the one thing I would flag about the accommodation in Bali. Good heads up that I would have appreciated having. Okay, Thailand versus Bali, I think is very different in the sense that in Bali, like I said, you very much feel like you're in Bali. Whereas in Thailand, I sort of felt like I could be anywhere. Like, it was just very nice, modern Airbnbs. Very nice, very nice. I would not complain. I'm just saying it depends on the type of holiday you're after. Like, the accommodation is different. With Bali, you've got the outdoor showers. With Thailand, you didn't. You know, it's just that vibe. But it is what it is. Like, I will not complain. Our villa in Koh Phangan, I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. It was absolutely beautiful. Really isolated, which made food and transport really expensive. But the villa is beautiful. So that was fine. How much did that cost? Let me have a look. So the villa in Koh Phangan cost £503 for 2 nights, but that was divided by 3, which I think is quite reasonable. The villa in Phuket cost £301 for 4 nights, and again divided by 3. So it is also affordable, just as affordable as Bali. But yeah, it was great. No stained towels, no stained bedding. It's just perfect, to be honest. Did I have any negative? No, it was lovely. It was lovely, and they were quite generous. I found that often they would include like a minibar with free drinks and free snacks and bread and eggs, like very generous. So I definitely wouldn't compare. I think in accommodation it's just a case of, do you want that authenticity that comes with Bali, or do you want that modern bougie vibe that comes with Thailand? The food. Okay, sorry, food is life. So food, the national dish, is it national? The traditional dish in Bali is nasi goreng. It's delicious. It is delicious, right? And so you can eat, there's Western restaurants if you choose to, which I think is where we went on our first night. I don't know why, can you say bougie? But if you want the real experience, you can go to the local restaurants, which are known as warangs. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And it's super affordable here. I'm so sorry, I cannot remember the prices off the top of my head, but it's super affordable, and the cocktails were lovely and strong, if I may say so. Yeah, and you're supporting the local community, so that's really great as well. I definitely recommend them. However, when it comes to food, it's Thailand. Like, and to be honest, I've been to Thailand before, and the reason I really wanted to go back again was because I was missing the food. I love Thai food. I love it in the UK, and I really love it in Thailand. I love Thai food. Yeah, I love Thai food. The national dish in Thailand is pad Thai, which actually I'm not a big fan of. I mean, it's nice, but it's not my biggest thing. Here's the thing, I went there really excited for sticky rice, and there was only one place I found that was still serving sticky rice. So is that a thing? Does Thailand not do sticky rice anymore? Is it a wrap? Like, I do sticky rice at home in Bali, and it may not be fair because I don't think I did go out looking for street food in Bali, whereas in Thailand it's everywhere and it's delicious and it's really affordable. I know that you could get a bowl of special fried rice for like 150 Thai baht, which is, translate and write down here, hella affordable. And my Thai cocktails, say no more. So in Bali, it is mostly land-based activities. For us, my experience, it was mostly land-based activities such as Bali swing and the monkey forest. Of course, you can also go to the Gili Islands where you can go snorkeling. I was not that blown away with the snorkeling in Gili, I have to admit. It was fun because I just love being in the water anyway, but it was quite disappointing because there wasn't much sea life. No, there wasn't, but that's okay. It was still a fun experience. I will also flag that in Bali we didn't even bother trying to find any beaches in Bali because we'd already heard that there are not that many good ones. I think there's one in Kuta, but we didn't go to Kuta. In the regions that we went to, Ubud and Seminyak, there were none for us to go to. Gili is obviously an island, so there were, which was great, but that's something to know. Whereas Thailand is more of a mixture between land and water-based activities. For example, you can go to the train market, which I really loved in Bangkok. I've got a vlog somewhere, check it out. I thought it was an amazing thing. I still talk about it today. Or you can go snorkeling in Phi Phi Island. I know it's not a fair comparison because Thailand is a whole country and I'm comparing it to just Bali. I know that, but that's just from my experience. And actually I'm going to be doing a video coming up on Sunday covering the top activities that you can do in Thailand. So subscribe if you want to see those. Okay, so that was activities, and I think we've covered the key topics: food, accommodation, transport, and activities. And now just onto the little add-ons such as safety. I felt safe in both countries. I felt really safe in both countries. In Bali, I think Bali, arguably just by a smidget, was a bit safer for me than Thailand. I mean, we were able to go out cycling at night with nothing but a little headlamp, and never did I feel, you know, in danger or anything of that nature. The thoughts didn't even cross my mind, and maybe that's because I was traveling with a guy, I don't know, but I felt completely safe in Bali. In Thailand, I did feel safe, but a few people did warn us of pickpocketing and, you know, make sure your door is closed because people may come and rob you. And obviously once that's in your head, it's not going out. Like, so yeah, nobody tried to rob us, we thank God. Everything was fine, but you just sort of got that vibe that, okay, you know, somebody could steal from you, which I'm sure can happen in Bali and anywhere else in the world, but I'm just saying about the atmosphere. On to the weather. So I definitely need to look at my notes here. In Bali, I went in April, which is the start of the dry season, and I felt it. I felt it. It was hot. Guys, it was hot in Bali.
Oh my god. It is so hot. Like, it's so hot. It's humid and it's 30 degrees. 11:15. That's crazy.
Like, I won't complain because I want it to be hot, but I wasn't prepared. It was hot. Okay. So the dry season runs from April to September, so you can plan accordingly if you want. And I don't remember it raining once. I don't remember it raining. I don't. Thailand, we went in June for my birthday, which by the way is on Sunday, so yeah, I'm turning 24. Anyway, Thailand, we went in June, and this was rainy season. So the rainy season in Thailand runs from April to November, so it's actually the opposite of Bali. So maybe that's what's going to decide for you where you want to go. When do you have annual leave? What's the weather like, you know? So rainy season is April to November in Thailand, and we went bang in the middle of that, and it was honestly fine. It rained on 2 occasions and maybe 30 minutes. I think there was one excursion we planned which got ruined, where it did rain for maybe an hour, but it's perfectly fine. Like, I would not let that deter me. Like, I'm perfectly happy to go back again in June in the future. It rained 2 days out of the 10 nights that we were there for like 30 minutes. Perfectly okay. Okay, so overall, the visas, it doesn't really matter. Both countries is free entry for 30 days. Transport, I would pick Bali just because you can get a personal driver for a very affordable price, and they'll be able to show you like really good areas and maybe even negotiate some prices on your behalf. In terms of accommodation, I would pick Bali just because it's a bit more authentic, and it's just a whole new experience, whereas you can stay in a nice Airbnb anywhere, I feel. And I like outdoor showers, so that was really fun. I would pick Bali on that basis alone. Food is Thailand. It's not a competition. I'm sorry to the Balinese people, your food is great, but Thailand wins on food straight. Whether it's restaurant food or street food, but go for street food. It's cheap and it's delicious. In terms of activities, I would have to say Thailand because I think there's a whole different range of activities in Thailand. Now, as I've said before, my next video on Sunday is going to be covering the kind of activities that you can do in Thailand. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned to catch that video. In terms of safety, both countries were completely safe. Nobody did or tried anything. Safety is a huge concern for you, then maybe go to Bali. In terms of the weather, it is what it is. If you want guaranteed sun, then go for the dry season in both countries. If I were to make the choice again, I would go to Bali. I would definitely go to Thailand at a later date, and in fact I intend to go back to Thailand and see the other places I haven't been able to go to, but I would pick Bali as my first place to go. And especially you want to get ahead of the crowds, get there before it's spoiled. Not that Thailand is spoiled, but just, you know, get there before over tourism kicks in basically, and it's already starting. Yeah, just start off with Bali. Bali's great. I love it. I love Thailand too. But anyway guys, that is my video comparing Bali to Thailand. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm really new at doing this sit down kind of videos and talking to you, so I'd really appreciate any feedback that you can give me. Go ahead and put your comments down below. It will help me improve and be more useful to you guys, so that would be great. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like what my channel is about, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for a video covering the activities you can do in Thailand. Thanks for watching and stay safe. Bye.